This is full of surprises. This is really full of surprises.
Let's dance, roll games, rushing through town. We don't care whatever killers in our dreams. Everybody's like.
Yes, yes, so Hairless here. We have a new artist to the channel today, one I'd never heard of before, actually. So thank you to Anna for this Patreon request. The artist is KZ Tandingan. She's singing a cover of the song Royals on the TV show Singer. This is from 2018. We're very familiar with this TV show by now. We've seen Dimash sing on it a number of times, as well as a couple of other performances. KZ is a Filipino singer and rapper, apparently, who won the X Factor Philippines in 2012. This video has 15 million views. A related video also of KZ singing on this TV show has 26 million views. I assume she's quite well known, so this sounds quite intriguing. Will there be rap in it? Who knows? Let's just get straight into it.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my address. In a torn up town, no postcode envy, and everybody's like, oh geez, got a goose slipping in the bathroom. Let's dance, ball games, scratching the hotel room. We don't care, we're driving Cadillacs in our dreams. Everybody's like crystal, baby, diamonds, a timepiece, jet planes, islands, tigers on a golden leash. We don't care, we all want caught up in your love affair, and we'll never be right.
Oh, okay, that's so interesting. You know what? I'm going to be super annoying and pause right here before the chorus, but that gives us something to look forward to, right? These live shows are usually insanely strict with copyright, so having a pause here really will not do any harm. So let's go over and discuss what we've heard. There's some really cool things. A lot I like about that starting portion. If you don't want to hear my thoughts or analysis, go to the timestamp. As far as the melody and the harmony goes, there's not too much dissimilar compared to the original song when the song becomes recognizable. She's singing in the same key, which makes for an easy comparison. Let me show you an example.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh.
And overall, in terms of accent, the type of sound, the timbre that she's singing with, it's quite similar to the original by Lorde. But KZ here is doing very subtle differences. She changes the melody instead of. Also, she does some rhythmic differences, some rhythmic augmentation on diamond. So the note on und is slightly longer than in the original, which causes the subsequent notes to be shorter, gives it a bit more rhythmic vitality when you hear the little percussion block that's going on in the background. It's really interesting. Speaking about the rhythms, we have the guitar. Electric guitar playing these chords. So as much as a harmonic role playing the chords, it's very much a rhythmic role too.
My teeth on wedding rings.
Bing, 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 bing. So then when the song becomes much more recognizable a bit later on.
Envy, and everybody's like, oh geez, got a goose slipping in the bathroom. Let's dance, ball games, scratching the hotel room. We don't care, we're driving Cadillacs in our dreams.
That's important because the harmonic progression, or in other words, which chords are used at every moment, are the same as the original song. There are no changes there. So the changes that come are in the instrumentation, which instruments we're hearing. The rhythms, such as in the guitar. KZ, a lot of it is through how she's singing because she's keeping the same melody mostly. And that's where we hear some really cool things that she does, such as, and this is probably personal preference, I tend not to talk about accents and stuff when I do these videos, but I really like how she pronounces some words and sings them. And I'm sure it's an affectation of hers she's doing on purpose.
Silence, tigers on a golden leash.
Gold leash. And there was another one as well, on the word proud.
And I'm not proud of my
proud. That reminds me of a tiger, quite sassy, quite fierce. She is clearly a showwoman, a lot of stage presence.
My teeth on wedding rings in the movies.
This is quite low as well for most women singers. She's going down to here. This F sharp or G flat. Her singing style, from what we've seen so far, yeah, it's really varied. She seems to have great control of her vibrato, when to use it versus straight tone, for example. It's very subtle when she's been using it. I'm sure we'll hear more of her as the song progresses. So before we carry on, let's just quickly go back to that opening introduction. We have this drone note in the low string, this D, and that's the key we're in, D major. You know, outlining that chord. Just inverted, which means instead of having the D on the bottom, one of the other notes is on the bottom. So we have that drone, but then the line above it. Interesting opening. We go from here to here. This interval is a minor sixth. My favorite interval is a sixth, minor or major, depending on the context, but very strange sounding, especially in this context. Then what happens? A chromatic slide down. And ending there as well. Another chromatic inflection, which creates a clash because this is the note lower down in the low string. So really peculiar opening. Then we move on a bit. How mysterious and cool, very Eastern sounding. I was actually thinking I might have been watching the wrong video for a moment there. I'm thinking, what's going on? There's Jessie J giving a smile. She knows this is very cool to see as well.
I've never seen a diamond.
And then KZ starts singing and I realize, okay, maybe this is the right song. Very, very cool introduction. Let's carry on. If you enjoy these videos or find them helpful, please consider supporting me. Patreon has a bunch of exclusive benefits, behind the scenes videos, additional reaction content, Q&A videos, and more. For a one-time donation, you can donate me a hot chocolate at the Buy Me a Coffee link, or become a YouTube member for these groovy emojis and membership badges. And a huge thank you to these lovely people on the screen now.
I was caught up in your love affair and will never be royal. If the one in our blood, the kind of blood she saved for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me queen, be a baby, 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 I rule. Let me live our fantasy. Fine with this, what didn't come from money. Hey! No teeth, grey goose, stripping in the bathroom, bloodstains, roll games, rushing through hotel. We don't care whatever killers and our dreams. Everybody's like, restore my bag, dollars in your timepiece. Jet plane, silent sun goes on a girl leash. We don't care. We got a color, but you're number four, and we'll never be royal. It's the one in our blood, the kind of love she saved for us. We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me queen, be a baby, 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 I will rule. Let me live a fantasy. Oh, 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 oh. Here we go. Get a grip with the ball. Too much vanity, but season think of you.
Well, that answers my question of if they'll be rapping it. Blimey, we're quite a way through, actually. I'm going to do second pause now. Again, copyright reasons. Better to be safe than sorry. This is full of surprises. This is really full of surprises. And it's one of those performances where you may not like every single decision in it because there are such stark contrasts in musical style, what we get, the harmony, all these kind of things. But I'm sure there will be one part at least that you do like. So from where we carried on the chorus, I wish there was more sound on the response.
And we'll never be royal.
We do have a backing singer. It could be a backing track. I assume it's a backing singer live. But it would be cool to hear the audience if they are actually singing that loudly. I assume most people know this song. KZ sings with such an energetic and quite intense style.
It's the one in our blood, the kind of blood she saved for us.
Very distinct voice breaks. Quite similar in style to Jessie J, I feel. I mean, I don't know Jessie J that well. And very good pronunciation, enunciation. There's just a lot of energy to her sound, quite breathy as well, with some occasional very quick breaths coming through, reminding me a little bit of Michael Jackson, actually. And we can see she has immense control over her voice. Here on Buzz, for example, short notes generally are harder to sing precisely in tune, but she nails it, and she manages to get vibrato on there as well in such a short amount of time.
We crave a different kind of buzz. Let me be your ruler. You can call me queen, be your baby, baby, baby. Out.
That baby there, quite different to the original song. If you don't know it, I'll show you a clip. Quite an iconic part of the song, this layered I'll rule and the word baby comes once. KZ completely disrupts that. She repeats baby, changes the melody, moves down instead of up.
Baby, 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 I'll rule.
So when I heard this the first time, I was thinking, oh, I'm not sure if I prefer the original or this. This is just different. I like how KZ came back to this same idea later on.
Queen, be your baby, 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 I will rule.
Why that was even more noticeable to me that she returned to that motif? Well, because of the musical section we got just before that. I loved it.
No juice, got eat you stripping in the bathroom. Bloodstains, roll games, rushing through jail. We don't go.
Quite ska almost in a way, isn't it?
A message to you, Rudy.
Very funky, very groovy. You've got the brass coming in.
We don't care whatever killers and our dreams. Everybody's like.
It's fun. We're enjoying it. She's enjoying it. We can see by the way she's singing. Ray and Charlie are definitely enjoying it. And whilst this is fun and quite upbeat, the tempo has not changed from before. And in general, we can think of the fundamental time signature, if you will, as pretty much the same. We're still thinking 1, 2, 1, 2, just as we were before when the musical style was different. So there's this familiarity rhythmically, even though musically, harmonically, the style has changed. And I'll get onto that in a moment because the harmony, the chord progression, as I mentioned at the start, is still the same as the original song at this point. And everything's reduced, it's more simple. The bass line is really just outlining the chords.
Everybody's like this for my bag. Dollars in your timepiece.
Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. So the musical style is changed here, and it's even more noticeable because of the section before that. So the chorus has just ended. And earlier on I was saying how the harmony, the chord progression, all that is the same as the original song. It's not changed. Well, now it does get changed. There's the first hint. Chromatic inflection, and then underneath in the instruments as well. And that's the really important one. That signifies a shift to the minor. And I'm sure you'll agree, this just sounds different. We can tell the harmony has changed. It's really interesting because in the original song, it's just one chord for the first couple of lines. You just have this chord in the background. You can sing the melody and it works. Nothing changes. So they don't need to do much here. They just turn that major chord into the minor version by changing this third note. The major third becomes minor. And we can see this because KZ sings it in her melody here on Party. And same as before, we've got the rhythmic guitar coming back in. Overall, it creates a darker feel to the song. Again, very intense. And even the instrumental lines we're hearing underneath. Very Arabian sounding. Couple that with her outfit, these huge things on her sleeves. It's, oh yeah, all round just really, really interesting, isn't it? Keeping us on our toes, no idea what to expect next. She has just started rapping where we paused, so I guess let's carry on until the end.
Get a grip with the fall, too much vanity, but season sick of here and lose the riches, not just yet about the riches. We're in humanity, that's your responsibility. You're looking down on people now, we're embarrassing humility. Giving up for humanity, yeah, it's like I'm doing a check. Tandingan. Once I get on my knee, like the disease, rush the knife. Get the mic up, gonna really get insanity. Credits to the villain, keep us crazy, gonna be catching me. Bigger than we ever dreamed. I'm loving queen. Life is square without a care. We are gonna be your love. The kind of future safe for us. We crave a different kind of love. Yeah, yeah. Baby, 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 I will rule. Fantasy. Let me live my fantasy. Let me live the fantasy, baby. No, 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 no. Oh, ooh, let me live our fantasy. Let me live our fantasy. Let me live
Yeah, I mean, no denying that's a very good performance, isn't it? Now, before we wrap up, and I know I will probably get some negative comments about this, so just before you go and write a negative comment, I'd just like to ask you to consider that people have different musical preferences. If everyone liked the same style of music, how boring would the world be? There'd only be one style. So as much as I like this performance overall, I'm afraid I'm not the biggest fan of the rap part. That's not to say I don't appreciate the skill required to do this. Without the subtitles, I would not know what she's saying, and I understand that's part of the charm of the rap section. It's kind of showing off, right, your ability to speak so quickly with so much rhythm. And there have been some instances of rap I've done on this channel before, and I see it as kind of a spectrum. You go from musical in terms of melody with clear pitches, and then you have talking, which is kind of in pitches, but you can't really notate it. And a lot of rap I found is somewhere in between. She's kind of singing, right? She has a pitch. That's the pitch she's sticking to. You know, whether you like it or not, that is the pitch that she is rapping to, which adds some dissonance into the chords that are being played underneath. And she's right in here. So again, even though we think of this as kind of speaking, it has a definite pitch. So this extra dissonance, I think, really adds to the overall feeling of the music here. A lot of the audience reactions they were showing were just kind of nodding, and yeah, that's what I do to this. Yeah, so that section, it's not my favorite of the performance, but I fully appreciate the talent and the skill required to do this. And it's something different, right? You don't get rap in every singing performance. It's another skill set she has. Why not show it off? I think most people would not complain about having this in there, me included, you know? Even though it's not my favorite part, it's still a good addition. The rap ends, and then she very musically shifts back into music mode. A lot of rhythmic importance with what she's doing, and that leads into a slight harmonic shift now. Very subtle, very temporary, but just that handful of chords. And then the last minute or so is really just an opportunity for her to round up the performance, to keep the audience engaged. Very powerful, high up, getting a lot of that chest voice in there. Returning to that idea of baby again that we spoke about before. And returning to these musical ideas is quite important. It's like putting your own stamp on the performance. It's a cover song, but it's been completely transformed. Really cool arrangement. I'd love to know who did it. Yeah, I can imagine that would have been very cool to see live. I wonder what her other live performances are like. So if you'd like to see me do videos of them in the future, comment down below which ones. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.